All right, we are live. No one is here.
Why are we live, Terry? Why did you wake me up at 11 a.m. on a Sunday when I went to bed at 5? I know you didn't know that, but it was 5 o'clock when I went to bed. I tried to do some hair and makeup going on here. What's going on in the Knicks world? Why do you have me up to bed?
Let's wait for a couple more people to come in. But obviously, you know, the news, we're talking Derrick Rose today, and the trade rumor is Begley coming out yesterday, saying that the Knicks and Pistons are engaged in a conversation with regards to Derrick Rose. Now, this came out a couple of weeks before that the Knicks may be interested in trading for Rose. The thing is, when it comes to Tibbs, no matter what, his former players always link with him.
So you said Derrick Rose, and immediately I'm like, yeah, Tibbs was his coach. He wants his veteran players. He likes his old guys. How old is Derrick Rose?
So Derrick Rose is 32, though he may seem like 42. He's 32.
Did he not play for us already and go MIA?
Well, yeah, I think, funny enough, I think he went MIA
that game
versus the Heat. So it's MIA versus MIA. If you get it. Play the Heat today in an hour. But yeah, so Derrick Rose, trade rumors are here. Detroit interested in dealing him. Detroit sucked this season. They're clearly going to tank. Good news, by the way, we have Detroit's second-round pick this season.
Okay.
Right? But because they suck so much, it's like the number 31 pick, which is basically kind of like a first-round pick. That's a very valuable pick. So shout out to, can't remember which deal it was, but technically that's Scott Perry. So shout out to Scott Perry. Good morning to JD, everyone there in the comments. What's up, guys? So, yeah, we're talking Derrick Rose today. So, Derrick Rose, he had his history with the Knicks. He was here that season with Melo and KP. He has a famous quote that year where he said, oh, we won a couple of games at the beginning, and he said, oh, they're saying us and Golden State are the super teams. That's been like a running joke because that season fell apart. He disappears. Totally different regime, though. I want to at least put that out there. You know, the Knicks were a mess at the time compared to now.
And from what I understand with him too, I know he's older, but it seems like he is a different kind of player, a different person altogether.
Yeah, that Knicks year in a weird way was like a transformative year for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like after that year, he got into the next part of his career and he went to Minnesota. I don't know if you remember, he scored that 50-point game and he was crying after the game.
I remember that. It seems to me, sorry to talk over you, like his Knicks years were his like rebellious teenage years.
No, I wouldn't even say that. I don't think it was. I feel like his career, right? He had a really tough part with Chicago. I mean, incredible to start. Then the injuries and like some of the worst, most devastating injuries you'd see. Right after that, right? He gets into this kind of weird a part of his career where he was like, you know, mid-late 20s, kind of didn't know what he was going to be as a player. So it was like this weird transformative year. And then, you know, after the Knicks, like you said, he kind of cleans up his act. He starts shooting threes. He had a couple of really decent years shooting threes. Now he's 32. He's in Detroit. So Derrick Rose scored 18 points per game last year. Not super efficient, but clearly still a guy who can get buckets in this league. Derrick Rose is so talented. Remember, he was the youngest MVP in NBA history. Like people forget that. He was 22 years old and went MVP. Right when him and Tibbs and Noah were fighting with LeBron in the playoffs, it's 10 years later now. And the reason I bring this up is he's still so athletic despite everything he's gone through. Good morning, Jerm. Thank you in the comments, guys. We're gonna talk about some of your comments soon. But the news comes out, rumors for a trade. Obviously, the Knicks need some kind of point guard help. Elfrid Payton has been okay and has been better as of recent. But I think they feel like they can get more out of that position. And they clearly, if anything, they are pushing for the playoffs. There's no talk of anything else but winning as much as possible this season. Yeah. And then seeing where we are in the offseason.
So, okay, if we get Derrick Rose, who are we giving up?
Well, the man of the jersey.
What are we giving up?
The man of the jersey.
The reason I'm wearing this
is rumored. So here's the kind of thought process on what happened. So Frank is out the rotation, as we know, right? Dennis Smith Jr. just asked to go to the G League. He's actually in, I think it's in Florida. I think so, the G League bubble.
Okay.
And what's funny is they just posted a picture of him and Miles Powell in a pool in Florida. And it said, what did it say? It said, it said can't be late because they talk about the snowstorm. You know what I mean? They're referencing that the snowstorm's going on.
Okay.
So it's interesting because DSJ requests to go to the G League, and I genuinely think the entire organization is really impressed with what he did and is excited about it. Maybe not long term, but I think they respect it. So I kind of don't see them pulling him out of the G League after that whole thing was organized and then sending him in a trade. I must feel like maybe
pull someone out of the G League and trade them. Is that something that you can?
No, you can do it. You own the guy. You know what I mean? So it's not a problem. But I just don't know if they would do that. Now, if the Pistons want the Pistons want Dennis Smith Jr., then they're gonna take Dennis Smith Jr. Like the Knicks, right. The Knicks want Derrick Rose at this point. It's pretty clear. The Clippers are interested as well. Now the Clippers are interesting because obviously that's a contending team. They need point guard help. So if you're Derrick Rose, it's like, do I go with Tibbs again? Because remember, it's a third go around with Tibbs. He was with him in Minnesota.
Right.
Or does he exactly? Or is he like, you know what? I want to go contend. I want to go play for a team that could potentially win a chip. Derrick Rose is 32. He probably has 3 years left, maybe max. So it's kind of like time. This Knicks team, no matter how much we've improved, I just do not see us being anywhere. I don't see us contending in the next 3 years. I think we could be a pretty good team, but something crazy would have to happen for us to be like a real contender in the next 3 years. So obviously Frank is brought up. Now, here's why Frank is interesting. Frank, obviously out of the rotation. They posted a picture of him last night with IQ and Knox. They were all doing some work after the game on the garden floor. It's the first time I saw a picture of Frank in like weeks, it seems.
Right.
He had the knee injury, and the team started winning some games. Not really a spot for him right now, though. As we've argued, the way Rivers has been playing at times, I genuinely think Frank could have been in there playing defense. But that's neither here nor there. For Detroit, they have Sekou Doumbouya, who's Frank's boy from under 18 France when he won the MVP. That's his boy. They also have Killian Hayes, another Frenchman who's also his boy. So I can see Detroit, especially when you're coming in from another country, it's a different language, having that familiarity with your guys. I could see, Detroit thinking, you know what, we suck right now, it doesn't matter. Let's get Killian, Frank, and Sekou all in here. We're tanking anyway.
The French Revolution? What, the French
Revolution? The French Revolution, whatever. And the thing is, Detroit, they'll play free. They're losing no matter what.
Right.
There's not much media attention on them. So those guys can just play out the season and whatever happens, happens. So for the Knicks, I do think they would definitely trade Frank. I think at this point, he's not playing. What I will say, though,
we've been expecting this for a long, long time.
Well, Frank's in trade rumors every couple of months.
Right.
But what I will say, though, and I think there's been this discourse about Tibbs and Frank and Tibbs not liking Frank and stuff like that.
Right.
I kind of remember this. Tibbs never really benched Frank. Frank got injured.
Right.
Right? Like, Tibbs has benched Knox. Like, Knox is not playing. But
right.
if you look at the start of the season, Frank played a little bit in preseason.
Yeah.
Right? The season started, he had some okay games. He had one game where he hit like 4 threes, I think, against the Bucks when he blew them out. Right? And then he was playing against the Cavs, and he literally got injured versus the Cavs. And his injury, Rivers came back, and then he wasn't in the rotation. So it's weird because, yes, he hasn't been playing him, right? But I don't think it's necessarily that he has no use for him. I think it literally is just how things work out. Tibbs is not a guy to change a rotation that he feels is working. Sometimes to his detriment. You definitely see yesterday, he did finally bench Derrick Rose, not Derrick Rose, Austin Rivers.
He's already here in your mind.
He's already here. So I think it's interesting. Now, with the whole Frank thing, I don't want to, if he gets traded, we'll do a video on his whole 4 years. I don't want to go through all of that right now.
I'm not going to do that right now.
Yeah,
what happens to Quickley if Derrick Rose comes in?
So this is my question. And actually, this adds on to something else, and I'm glad you brought it up. So, Derrick Rose, obviously, is coming in here. I don't know if you can say he's 100% a starter, but he's obviously coming into play. You're not trading for someone for them to do nothing. So, he's coming into the rotation. Who's going out? Chances are maybe a guy like potentially Reggie Bullock could be going the other way. I don't really know. We'll see either way. Elfrid Payton, I do not think is going anywhere. As much as people want him to be traded, he has a no trade clause. Now he can waive it, but I do not think he's going to waive a no trade clause to go from playing 28 minutes a game on a good team to go to Detroit, where they have no need to play Elfrid Payton when they suck and they got young point guards like Hayes. I mean, Hayes is injured right now. You know what I mean? And they want to play all these guys. My worry, in a sense, with Derrick Rose comes here and he's going to be at least an upgrade. He's going to be okay. I'm not saying he's going to be great or even very good, but he's probably going to be better than Payton. He's going to be exciting. And they're pushing for the playoffs, right? I think he'll do well.
Yeah.
But Emmanuel Quickley, right, who's in this rare position now, he's playing 12, 13 minutes a game. I don't think he's necessarily going to see that continue. but it does take the ball out of his hands. This means Quickley's playing more of the two, right? I think you can see a lot of Derrick Rose and Quickley backcourts, which could work because Derrick Rose with the ball, getting to the rim, Quickley out there. That could really work. I want to bring this comment up because I think it really sums it up. This is it. Rivers would be out of the rotation ideally, right? So you now basically replace Austin Rivers with Derrick Rose, and Quickley can kind of fit in there. But my overall thing is Emmanuel Quickley, and I know it feels like we're rushing him sometimes, but Damian Lillard, right? His rookie year, he played 38 minutes a game. I think he was like the number one rookie by far in terms of minutes. And I think even set a record for like rookie minutes in terms of like NBA history.
Okay.
In those 38 minutes, he scored 19 points and 6 assists, right? I genuinely feel like if Quickley just got 30 minutes a game, he would get close to that. Now, we don't know what's going on in practice. We know they want to bring him on slow. We know all those things. But sometimes I wonder if we're overthinking things, right? Quickley has 100% been a top 5 rookie, probably a top 3 rookie in the NBA. Maybe top 5. I wouldn't say top 3 just yet. At this point, it kind of feels like, are we overthinking this? Like, why are we, trying to find all these solutions when Quickley literally doesn't just look like, oh, he could be an okay point guard. He actually looks like, oh my God, this guy could be a star. So what are your thoughts? I've been talking for 10 minutes now. What are your thoughts on?
Talking about him and Derrick Rose playing together, maybe that could work. Maybe Derrick Rose coming in with his veteran leadership could really, to be honest, Quickley seems like a veteran himself already. But obviously, around some more guys like that, guys that have been around the league, is going to be, I guess, good for him. Taj Gibson, who's also a rookie, who's also a veteran. Tom Thibodeau spoke about him yesterday, and even though we are not seeing him that much playing on the court, he's actually bringing a lot to the team during practice and just as a veteran leader. So there could be a lot of that element that we're looking for from Derrick Rose as well. Not for him to necessarily come on and be this amazing player on the court, but maybe he's bringing something else to the team that is also valuable. Because remember, I always talk about this, there's a mental aspect of the game that obviously we don't see them playing the mental aspect. It's up here. So maybe that's part of it. Yes, he will give us some points. He will score, right? Well, what are his stats looking like as far as him scoring?
I think he's like at 14 points per game this season.
Right.
But like it's a bad Detroit team. It's hard to even judge him.
So I do think we need some pieces. So you see how basically right now we have RJ and we have Randall giving us those consistent points.
Yeah.
Right. I think 15 and up, they're giving us 15 points and up per game. I do think having more players on the team that can also give us that obviously helps, right? So if Derrick Rose comes on and he can give us a solid 15 points a night, that could mean that we're starting to win more games. And as you said, it seems like we are definitely in the direction of just wanting to win games. Win games, possibly make that play-in or playoffs position. Because what are we right now? We're number 6 in the East.
I think we're the 6th seed right now. And the thing is, I don't even like the way we're playing right now. I'm not even saying we're playing like that amazing. We're just playing, a little bit under 500. But we have an easy schedule coming up. So, like, forget the play-in. We might literally just make the playoffs.
Right, so, and we don't need. So here's the thing. So far from our record, we actually don't need to play amazing if we had one other element, one other player who could give us, like I said, a 15 to 15 points. Think about all the games right now. If we had that extra a player like Derrick Rose playing with us, would we have won some of those closer games?
We probably would have. Look, Derrick Rose is just an upgrade on Peyton. Peyton might every now and then give you 15 to 20 points. Derrick Rose is probably going to do that almost every game. Now, Derrick Rose also can't shoot, though he did shoot 37% from 3 one season. It's not that consistent. He's a better shooter than Peyton, though, because Peyton just like cannot shoot. When Peyton catches the ball, you're like, oh no, it's probably gonna miss. But Derrick Rose, it's a bit more like, he's probably gonna go in. He can play there. Now, about him as a mentor, I was against this before early in his career, but Killian Hayes, who's injured, the French point guard at the Pistons. In the preseason, he spoke glowingly about Derrick Rose and like how he, they had picked Hayes to be the starter. So it wasn't even like a competition. And Derrick Rose took the bench position, mentored him, and was very willing to work with him. So I think him coming in here, it's more experience. It's, it's us trying to become a solid team, a solid franchise. I think this season, while it's about development, I think above all, it's very clear. They just want to show the NBA that the Knicks are a solid team, a decent team, and a team that's competent. So they're going to add pieces that makes us look like that and makes us play well in the playoffs and make the playoffs and do well. I want to bring up some of these comments. Let's see. Oh, this is actually, I'm gonna go back to John Carlos after. This is interesting. Nathaniel Perez says, I think we will try to shop Elfrid to the Clippers. Funny enough, that actually kind of works for them. They need a more pure point guard, and that's who Peyton is. So that'll be interesting. I think, and I love the trade rumors, guys keep bringing them up. I think if anything, there's a lot about to happen, right? This team, this front office, they are not standing pat in the offseason. They were twerking for Gordon Hayward already. They didn't care. So I'm telling you, they're gonna make some things happen. I think they saw enough now that they're like, okay, we're at least solid. Yeah. So now I want to add in this, I want to add in that. And Frank's not playing. Knox is not playing. Right. DHJ's in the G League. You know, these guys are almost like, these three guys are kind of like not on the team in a sense. So if you're gonna get value for them, though, the concept of trading guys in their early 20s for a 32-year-old Derrick Rose.
It's bad. It's a bad illusion.
It's hard to accept. But I think, you know, if you look at, I trust that this front office is making informed decisions, that they're not just throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks. Right. You know what I mean? And yes, I know that Derrick Rose this season will probably benefit us, though he's not a great defender, and I'm sure going to have some issues with how he plays, but he's that much better than Peyton that it'll be a breath of fresh air to see him playing. And Tibbs trusts him, and you know, you do need that between like your point guard and your coach. I think Quickley would benefit as well. Even if his minutes get cut a little bit, I think he would benefit from playing with a guy like Derrick Rose. Because Derrick Rose is an excellent finisher around the rim, even if he's not, you know, the same player he used to be. So,
okay, so is this happening like now? When are we expecting this to happen?
Honestly, I actually think this is happening in the next couple of days. We were hesitant to do this video. We were like, let's watch the game and then move on. But the last thing I read is like they're in heavy discussions. This could all be a smoke screen too, right? The Pistons have agreed to trade Rose. So that is happening. It's either going to be to like the Clippers or the Knicks. I don't know if any other team's going to get involved. I want to bring up this comment from Heck. Give Quickley the keys, 12 points in 12 minutes. He literally is a threat to score 20 points a night if he's given the minutes. That's kind of like, I keep having this struggle. And I'm like, would another team just have Quickley playing? Because like, what's overthinking it?
They probably would.
Yeah, that's the one thing. All right, keep going. Mike C is happy about it. Derrick Rose off the bench would be my favorite current Knick, mentoring the young guys around the basket.
See?
That's true.
Yep.
That's true.
Yep.
That's true. I'm loving these comments. Keep it coming. We're going to go live more times, guys. All right, hear me out. Trade Rivers, Frank, and Bullock to Detroit for Rose in a second. Okay, we get a second. Okay, move Burks to the starting line. We get Bullocks. Ooh, okay, there's a lot going on there. I do like Quick getting more minutes. Yes. I don't think both Rivers and Bullock are going. In fact, I think they like Reggie Bullock. He's starting right now. I don't see, unless it's a big upgrade, I actually see Bullock maybe staying close, maybe till closer to the trade deadline or even staying for the season.
I see Rivers staying over Bullock, and not because of the play, but it seems like we got Rivers on such a great deal.
Right. That's a good point.
And that he's had these sporadic, like, good games. And he probably does bring, I know that he's not that old, but there's something about him that's a veteran, probably because of his father and so on, right? Kind of brings some of that stability as well to the team. And so I almost kind of feel that they like him maybe over some of the other guys that we're thinking they should actually keep. Right?
Yeah, and it's funny because, like I said, Rivers, outside of those two games, I'm telling you, if you didn't know who he was, and you just saw a guy playing how he played outside of the two games where he went off, you'd be like, this guy should have no minutes. Right. You know what I mean? Right. So we'll see. I'm going to bring up some other comments here. Frank is gone. Very likely. Very likely. I think with Frank,
I've been so prepared for this breakup.
I mean, it's been years of like thinking he's getting traded.
Over a year for sure. We have been like, oh, he's gone. He's gone.
Yeah. Let's see this.
Are we crying?
I'm not crying. I mean, I love Frank, but like, I mean, look, let him. He's not playing. He's literally not even on the team right now.
Oh, so I do like Seth Curry. I do like Seth Curry.
Let's get Nathaniel Perez on the Knicks front office. This is a second nice comment. This is awesome.
I like this. I do.
Seth Curry changes everything for us. This guy is Dallas. Okay, so Dallas, they didn't re-sign Curry. I remember they traded him. I think they just didn't re-sign him. And they're suffering so badly. They drafted a rookie, Tyrell Terry, who many people thought was going to be kind of like a cheap version of Seth Curry, but he's not been good. And they've been missing his shooting. Seth Curry is anybody named Curry, an elite shooter. He would bring so much to our team.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Rose pulls this off, man, then it's even. Seth Curry to me, that's way more exciting than Derrick Rose actually.
Oh, absolutely. Nathaniel, I would love to see Seth Curry in a Knicks uniform. I like this a lot.
Yeah. Michael Sharon says here, don't be surprised if Frank continues to say this. I tell you,
don't be surprised because it keeps happening. Like every time I get completely prepared to say, okay, we're gonna let Frank go. He's gone, and somehow he manages to stay around. He manages to stay around. Yeah, Michael.
I want to bring this up from R. Thompson. Yes, of course that makes sense. However, and I'm not like fully well versed on everything going on with the Sixers, but I have heard that if they do want to add in another major piece, Daryl Morey will have to use that deal and get something out of it. So, of course, I don't think they want to trade Seth Curry, but if he does end up getting traded, it's because they're trying to add another big piece, towards the team. Black Diamond Forum Club here saying, I understand Tibbs says he likes defensive players. Frank is a defensive specialist. Why don't he like him? How come he don't want me, man? Will Smith.
He hasn't even played him. And back to what you said is you think that maybe it's not that he actually doesn't like him, but he actually is injured. And so he can't play.
It's not even that deep. Listen, don't get me wrong. I think Tibbs wants players who can do more than just defend. I will argue that I 100% think Frank, at this point, if you look at his 3-point shooting since all of last year into this season, like a couple of games he's played, he's improved. He's like in the mid 30s or so. So he's taken a jump. I think he can hit set shots. He hit 4 threes in that one game. But I think with Tibbs, it's all opportunity and timing. Had Frank not gotten injured, I actually think he would be in the rotation. I said it earlier in the stream. Tibbs didn't actually bench Frank and stop playing him. He got injured. The first 4 games of the season, I think Frank played, a little bit of minutes in the first one, but I think the rest of them, Rivers was out, to be fair, but Frank was getting minutes until he got hurt. And then he missed 2-3 weeks. It was a long time he was out. By the time he came back, Frank is not the guy who I think can just join and start playing well. Like he probably needs like revving up the way Burks can just hop back in. Yeah. So I don't even think it's a straight up, he hates Frank, doesn't want to play Frank. I think it's more, unfortunately, man, and the NBA, like life, is all timing, right? Yeah. Frank getting injured at that point was really bad for him in terms of being on this Knicks team. Had Frank not gotten injured and maybe got comfortable, maybe he's in there. But that's the way the cookie crumbles, so to speak. You know what I mean? Let's bring this up here. Master Cypher Builder. Look at D Rose under Tibbs in Minnesota. Recently can show quickly how to be an MVP in the system.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, I listen, Derrick Rose in Minnesota, like you said, he recovered his career a little bit, hit some good threes. I can see, and I'm really impressed with what I heard from Killian Hayes about Rose as a mentor. The fact that Rose is very happy to go on the bench, help him develop on a team that was not going to be good. I think he'll even be happier to be on a Knicks team. And I feel in a way too, he may be looking at his Knicks tenure kind of like he wants to rectify what happened,
Well, I also think what I'm seeing too is some of these slightly older guys in the league who were maybe were stars earlier in their career are now sort of taking that backseat and they're okay to come off the bench. Same thing with Melo, right? He's completely fine to come off the bench. And
Melo took some time.
I think he also feels, because of what Melo went through, he feels lucky to be still playing in the NBA. And these guys are starting to realize that obviously every year new guys are coming in. So I need to hold on to my position and be okay if it is that the coach is choosing to have me come off the bench. And Derrick Rose obviously has a great relationship with Tibbs and so probably respects him a whole lot and will kind of do whatever he tells him to do without any attitude and without it being like, why am I not starting? Like and Tibbs can treat him however he wants to and he'll be fine with it. I'm serious. That's how I kind of feel.
There's a meme. I wish I could show it. There's a meme from Breaking Bad where Walt is talking to Saul. What's his name? Saul? Yeah, Better Call Saul. Yeah, he's talking to Saul, and he's basically saying, "I don't care, keep going." And someone, the meme I saw was like, "This is Tibbs talking to Derrick Rose's niece after playing with him for so many years." So, because the big thing is that Tibbs is the one who injured Rose. A lot of people feel like that. I want to bring up this comment from CM because we kind of addressed this yesterday, and I know we're probably part of this sometimes. But yesterday we spoke about this, ad nauseum, right? That I kind of thought that with us, being decent for the first time, we'd kind of just see happiness. But there's actually been a lot of complaining in the past couple of weeks. I know we're a little bit guilty of it, but I have taken a step back from that. Finally, we've been complaining about having our management and coaching for years. Now we have competent people in place, and yet we still find a way to criticize every coaching decision and roster move. I think it's one, human nature.
I think no, it's Knicks fans. It's Knicks fans because we all feel that we know better than the coaches, and we all feel like we're scrutinizing their every move. The fact that we're even here right now is that we're scrutinizing every move that the coaching staff makes, right?
Yeah, I think it's also PTSD. Now, I do not think, I've even tweeted this out. This season is like the first time in years I genuinely felt like the entire fan base just needs to trust whatever they were doing. Simply because, we're so used to like the incompetence, the Steve Mills-ness, the David Fizdale era, just like this gross and Kurt Rambis, just this gross incompetence. And it seems like the Knicks were just not seeing very clear things in front of them, right? Mm-hmm. So for years, I feel like we just, we've dealt with this. So now it's kind of like, all right, look, they're not as bad as before. Forget the past. It's PTSD. It's Knick PTSD. We need to get over it. I said this, the day that the Knicks fan, and maybe this never happens, but the day we can just be like, yo, whatever they do, I love it, is the day where we're really going to be a good team. But I think we're trending there, and I'm thinking maybe after this season, after we see this season and see what moves they make this summer, I think as a fan base, we're going to have to calm down and be like, all right, we're seeing what makes sense here. We see what makes sense here. I want to bring up this comment from Viviana Virgo. Don't feel bad for Frank. Sometimes he needs this trade. It can be healthy for his career. I agree. I can see him thriving in a lower, smaller market, not as many expectations. I think especially this year, if the Pistons suck the way they do, him just playing out will probably be the only time in his career, actually, he's just been able to play without any real expectations, And he's also going into end of his contract this year. So it's important for him.
Right. Well, I always said, with Frank's in the spotlight playing for New York, right? And as much as the New York fans, and Frank has a huge New York fan base that love him, he definitely, I think, would play better on another team, which is why always when they said these trade rumors are coming up, I was like, you know what? He is going to go somewhere else. And unfortunately, he's probably going to play a lot better than he plays here.
Well, it's also not even just like, he left the Knicks, now he's better. It's that he has, as much as people will criticize his development, he has been better in the last season. To me, was what I think we wanted his second season to be, right? But he lost 2 years. His whole thing has been all over the place. He lost he lost the second season due to the groin injury, and then last season when he was playing well, COVID. So he didn't get to play the last 3 months, and just because he was playing the best basketball of his career right before. Yeah. It's annoying to think, we went through all this stuff with Frank, and now he'll just go somewhere and the other team. It's like when a girl dates a guy and she's like, yo, I fixed this guy, and now the next girl's going to get the better version of him.
The starter wife. Yeah.
But the thing is,
it's a real term.
But the thing is, to be honest, the good thing about this season is that Frank or Dennis Smith Jr. and in a weird way just don't matter like they used to, because Quickley has emerged. Yes. Right? We even said it. We're like, normally we'd be like, why, what's happening? But now it's kind of like, well, whatever. We got maybe a potentially elite point guard. So it's like, let's pick up the Michael Sharon comment. It seems you're not a true Knicks fan.
Every coaching decision and roster move, LOL, which is kind of what we just said, right? Yeah, we get
it. yeah, we get it. R. Thompson, I'm just going through comments now. I sort of bring this up because we've not been speaking about Dallas. You've been watching Reddit and Twitter on Dallas. Oh my God, guys! This is sidetracking the whole video.
Who are they hating on? Who are they hating?
I feel like an evil soul. I'm waking up every morning and reading Maverick Standard of KP with such joy in my heart.
You're getting kicks doing that.
It is so. I feel bad that it's so enjoyable. I'm like, this can't be healthy. But KP, and I think for me, the KP thing is that we got so much criticism for people when we traded him. Right? They were like, oh my God, how could you trade this amazing superstar? When the truth is, we knew that he had faults. We saw him be injured, not be strong, not be able to do anything in the post, etc. And we would tell people this, and they're like, oh, the Knicks are hating. Now he's doing the same thing in Dallas. And I'm reading these comments, and they're like, how you 7-3 and can't get a rebound? How you 7-3 and you don't want to play strong inside? How come you're complaining after everything?
Right.
So it's I'll just say it's a little bit, we're human. It's joy in my soul.
Shout out to Thompson. I don't know if this could be Richard Thompson or Reese Thompson, because I know those two people, but I don't think it is. But I'm just calling out because in a good way, because he also comments on a lot of our videos. So thanks for watching our show also, Mr. Thompson.
They're actually saying someone
and making comments, and
someone said we should get
Dallas who? Why are we concerned about Dallas?
Well, remember their pick.
Oh,
so this is the thing.
That's true. We have
This is actually insane. Right now, the Dallas pick is projected like top 6.
I forgot about that because I remember. Yes, we have picks. Wow.
So this is big, right? Dallas, I think. Listen, they're not going to be this bad. I do not think they're going to be this bad this all season long.
I actually, when we got their picks, I was like, okay, but they're going to be good. So what does that matter? But okay, maybe they're not as good.
Well, yeah, it's been really rough in Dallas this year.
Isn't Luka also pretty frustrated?
Luka is, Luka's frustrated all the time. He gets pretty angry. But I love Luka. I want Luka to, I actually have this sneaky, me, I'm always saying people are coming here. Luka Doncic trade to the Knicks in a couple of years. Book it. He's a beast. I think Cuban's gonna try to keep him, but the messed up part, the funny thing about Dallas is I genuinely think they jumped the gun with KP. Mm-hmm. I don't think they realized Luka was gonna be maybe top 10 player good this early. Because you imagine if they had Luka as good as he was and had the freedom now to build around him, KP's getting 158 million, and he's not worth that at all. Because the guys who are second level stars in the NBA are way better than Porzingis, and he's gonna get better. He's been injured, whatever, but you're missing him too. Operation Free Luka. Shout out to Christopher Ivey. Let's get the movement started. You seen the Luka? The picture of him with the Melo jersey from when he was like 13 or something.
Does he have cornrows in his hair?
Nah, that was KP. Don't talk about that guy. Let's talk about that guy. Let's see. So Heck is calming me down. He's saying the West is
Terry. West is tough and quarter through. They are the 14th seed. I don't see them getting that much better this year.
Oh, he's actually saying I shouldn't think they're going to get better.
Right, which would be good for us, right, Heck? If they're not so good this season.
I love it. A
nice pick.
Marquis, I don't think, man, there's no elf. I don't think there's elf in trade. The no trade clause is one thing,
right?
But I genuinely think, I don't think they're going to have him go from starter and they're trading him. I don't think he's going to agree to go to a trade where he's going to go to a bad team and not play.
Right.
Though, and someone brought it up before, if that Clippers thing happens and there's a 3-team trade where Elfrid goes to the Clippers, so now he gets to basically play for the Knicks, then go to a contending team. That I think he will be like, okay, I'm going to go contend.
So how does that whole trade work for us? He goes to the Clippers. And what are we getting?
I got to look back up. I can't remember it. It could be a 3-team trade where Derrick Rose is in it too. So maybe we're getting Derrick Rose, Peyton's going to the Clippers, and something else is happening. I do not have the numbers in front of me, but yes, he has a no trade clause, but he can waive it. And I do have a feeling that given the CAA relationship and all this stuff, you're also got to look out for yourself, right? Like if Elfrid Payton is seeing the writing on the wall and he's being promised a position on a team that's contending, where he can play with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard and just be distributing.
Right.
Not the worst thing for your career. Remember, Elfrid's also a free agent after the season. So you're trying to get bread. If he goes to the Clippers and performs decently well in the playoffs and stuff like that, he's getting re-signed, it's all that.
Yeah. That could actually be a good push for him because if he goes to play for the Clippers, he naturally will elevate himself to sort of step up his game as he did yesterday, right? He's naturally going to do that because I think when you're around a team that's a winning team and you're around a team that is making it to the playoffs, you have to show your worth in that team also, right?
Right, exactly.
So I can see that being a really nice move for him going to
100%. Shout out to CM. He's saying we should start accepting super chats. I know a little bit about this. It's like people can like support you and send you money when
Oh,
we're talking. But I don't know anything about how to do it. So
I know CP does it.
Yeah.
Shout out to CP.
Shout out to CP Knicks Fan TV, killing it. Let's see what else is here. Anthony Vasquez, appreciate this, man. You want to read this one? I'm tired of reading. I'm tired of talking.
I'm new here, and you guys are terrific. Oh, thank you, Anthony. The reason they aren't using Frank and now Knox is because they are going to be traded for sure. That's what teams do before they are trading players. And yeah, I guess so. And we have been long expecting the Frank trade. And Knox hasn't been playing. I mean, it's funny because we haven't seen these guys playing.
So Knox, let's talk about Knox for a bit, actually.
A little bit. Knox played a little bit because he was scoring some nice 3-pointers. And I was liking that. I was actually liking that he can come on for a minute and give us some consistent threes. But we haven't really seen him play recently, and it seems like Tibbs is in this tight rotation, and he's not even interested in letting these guys play. So if they're not going to play, Dennis Smith going down to the G League makes sense because he wants to play. These guys want to play basketball. They don't want to sit on the bench.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, you're injured, so you got to sit it out. But Knox can't be happy. He cannot be happy watching Quickley come in, having an amazing game. Watching Obi come in, knowing that, knowing that there's new players coming again this year. So what's his role? Like you said, the players also got to look out for themselves too, right? Where are they going to get the most shine? Where are they going to make the most money? Where do they want to set up their life? Where do they want to be? So, I could see these guys not being here, Anthony. I could see this happening for sure.
Here's the interesting thing about Knox. It's funny because if you look back to our pre-draft video, unfortunately, everything we felt and thought about him was kind of right. And we felt bad about it initially because he played okay. He didn't play well. He had a lot of minutes rookie season. And he did some things. But we were worried about his motor. We were worried about his desire. We were worried about his effort level. And I think even now, into this season, he still is a little bit iffy. Mikey said he has no basketball moves. Oh God! You know what's funny? It's kind of true sometimes. Knox going to the rim. I've always said it. Knox goes towards the rim, right? And then he's like 6'8", 6'9", or whatever. And by the time he gets to the rim, maybe not 6'9", I think it's 6'7", 6'8". But by the time he gets to the rim, he looks like he's 5'10". He just shrinks, right? Every now and then he'll get up. He had that big dunk on Ben Simmons rookie year. But Knox has been, he's out of the rotation. So the thing is with Knox, and the reason I wanted to kind of talk about him is I really thought with Kenny Payne coming in, right? With that whole Kentucky thing, that there was going to be a big investment in Kevin Knox overall. And I'm sure it's happening maybe off the court. But, he was also rumored, by the way. I didn't bring him up earlier. He actually was rumored in this trade as well, that Detroit were maybe discussing Kevin Knox. Right. I feel like if you're giving up Knox and Frank for Rose, that sounds ridiculous to me. Right. Just because they're I don't think that's good value. I think Frank for Rose, Frank and, some kind of filler makes sense, but I wouldn't give up both. But I think there are going to be some deals that we do not expect coming out of nowhere from this regime. I think they saw 24 games now. They're going to start wheeling and dealing.
Right.
Yo, shout out. We got to go on this show. He's been asking us to come on for a while. Yeah, they do like, I think it's a sportscaster. It's like 6 or 7 of them talking. We've been promising to come on. We're gonna figure it out. Let's see what else is going on here.
Yep. Too often, Knox looks like a deer caught in the headlights. Let me ask you something. I know that Knox's father was a professional football player. Did he have choices with what professional sport he was going to go into?
Well, he was a quarterback, wasn't he? Okay. Tell me in the comments, guys. I think Knox was a quarterback, which is funny because he's so tall, but I think he was a quarterback.
Well, that was actually what I was going to say. I almost feel like Knox came from this athletic family, and so he was going to attempt or try to play in professional sports in some capacity, and that maybe he chose basketball based on his height, right? Ooh. As opposed to football. And because he almost even looking at him, his build, I could see him playing another sport. Does he really want to play basketball? Sometimes he doesn't look that enthused. I have seen him every once in a while I've seen like a little boost of energy from him, but for the most part, he does seem kind of like that very sort of laid back, like
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I feel bad sometimes talking about Knox like he can't play the sport, because that's not true. Obviously, he could do some things, but yeah, I don't really know at this point what's going to happen with Knox. Maybe the Knicks cut their losses. I saw a comment earlier. I'm not going to find it now, but they're asking about the draft coming up. What I think we need. Obviously, this draft is crazy top heavy. Not top. It's amazing draft all the way through. Cade Cunningham, Mobley. I could see a lot of options. I could see the Knicks going with a guard for sure, right? And maybe figuring out, what they want to do with Quickley, having Quickley and maybe if they get Cade Cunningham, who's incredible, having those guys play together, Jalen Suggs. I could see us going for a center potentially. Mobley's incredible. I'm not so sure about Mitch's long-term future with the Knicks. Nothing specific there, but I've heard some things from some people. I can't reveal what I've heard. I've heard some things. So I'm not too positive about Mitch long term, but it would be interesting to see how how things shake out. We're gonna get off in like 5 minutes, guys. So just a couple more comments here. I don't think the Cavs are trading Jared Allen at all. They're gonna get rid of Drummond, and maybe McGee ends up in another deal. But they also just lost Larry Nance. He just got injured, so I don't see Jared Allen leaving. That's a big part of their building future, I think, with Colin Sexton.
Okay.
Blah blah blah. This one, you want to read this one?
D Rose is a bad trade. Change my mind. 32-year-old who can't shoot the 3-ball. And this is one of our, this is something that the Knicks have done in the past, right? We get these older players back who showed some shine somewhere else. We bring them back here, and then it falls to pieces. And then we're like, what the hell? Why are we the only team paying all this money for a guy who's on his way out?
At least it won't be.
We've heard this before. The guys that are, 32 is old in the NBA, right? Even though, yes, people are in much, much, much better physical health, taking care of their bodies, eating right. LeBron's playing till he's like 50 at this point.
Yeah.
but there's still wear and tear that naturally happens to your body. He's been injured, so he has those injuries that have already happened. And the Knicks are known to do this kind of stuff, right? We pay a lot of money for these old guys. It's like, oh, here's some retirement money, guys.
Hold on. Wait. That's not what I'm looking for. We got Heat fans in the comments?
Ooh.
Nah. They gotta worry about their own team this season. I don't even know what the Heat record is. It's not good. I know that. This is a big game tonight. It's happening. We got 30 minutes. Let's just talk about the game today.
Right.
I'm really excited about us playing the Heat. Obviously, finals team last year. They have a lot of clout around the league for how they played, but this year they've not been as good. They've had some injuries, and I think they may have dealt with one or two COVID things. But for me, one of the big things is Tyler Herro and RJ. Last year, RJ does not make the all-rookie team.
Right.
Herro goes off to the finals, has all these really good games. There's this whole discourse all summer, Tyler Herro is so much better than RJ. Don't believe that RJ didn't hear that RJ is not coming into the game today, possibly looking to make a statement. So, and listen, the Heat are our longtime rivals. I want to see us come out today and I will never like the Heat. I respect the Heat a lot, to be honest. Really, their franchise is how I want the Knicks to be run. Good culture, consistent.
Talk about this.
Yeah.
Listen, Tyler Herro's feeling himself. He got Jack Harlow singing songs about him. He's all up in the video, right? So he's feeling himself, right? So yes, the Knicks need to shut them down. Sit this up.
Yeah. I want to end on this. What's up?
So
I was going to end on this last comment here.
I was just going to say the Heat are coming up here to the snow, so we got to, white out.
Yeah. This one, you can read this one. This is the last comment, and I really like this.
Remember, Leon Rose has been negotiating contracts for players for years based on value. He knows players' values, and he's not making any bad trades. So far, that's what he's done, right? Don't you?
Yeah.
We all feel pretty secure with the trades that he's made and who's on the team right now and how pieces are being shifted around. So yeah, this is his game. This is his job.
That's the thing, right? Remember, this guy was literally an agent. Like, if you're an agent, like it's like the other side of the game, so you can come in with knowledge of both sides. So now he's not only a lot of guys who may be club president Steve Mills, for example, knew nothing about player value and was like, hey, Tim Hardaway Jr., take 72 million. Why not? I have the job for a week before they hire somebody new, but I'll just give you the money. So yes, Leon Rose, obviously, and this entire front office, they're way more cerebral about everything they're doing. Even what they did draft night, I just loved, the moves they made, the really sneaky, small, intricate moves, but it was smart. Last comment. I know I said that I want to end it there, but I just want to bring this up because we have a Pistons fan here. And he's saying, I'm
curious, as a Pistons fan and Michigan fan, has Ignas shown anything that he could be an NBA player?
So I think
he watched Iggy play in Summer League, and he was great. And he played. Did he even play for like a hot minute? I think at the end of one of the games he played for a hot minute. I have been wanting to see this guy play on the court. I really have. We made a whole song about him, Iggy Pop. We showed him the video when we met him down at Chelsea Piers.
Yeah,
we do want to see him play because we don't even know how he would play in this league.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this about Iggy. He had a pretty good year in the G League. I'm trying to get the stats. Let me tell you the stats right now, actually. He scored, what was it? He scored 21 points per game in the G League. He shot 34 from 3. How much from the field? 50% from the field, 7 boards a game. The G League is obviously a different level. But in the Summer League, right? And that's all we could really go off. He looked like he belonged. He looked way more crafty than RJ. He had a good understanding of the game. That said, his athleticism is not really NBA level sometimes. And he's going to have to be in a position where he's going to have to be on a team where he can just play freely. Obviously, with the Knicks, I just kind of don't. We were excited. I actually thought Iggy would be a way bigger part of the team. When we drafted him and we saw what he did in Summer League, I was like, okay, Iggy, by the end of the season, Iggy's going to end up being one of these one of these guys playing for us.
But we're going to see him and RJ play together as well.
Yeah, that chemistry, the Canada chemistry, right?
The Canadian connection.
The Canadian connection. All right, guys, we are logging off. Game time in 28 minutes or so. Thanks for all your comments, guys. We're gonna come live a few more times. This is fun. I talking to you guys. We figured out the whole super chat thing. But thanks for the support, guys. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if it's your first time here. And that's it. Any parting words?
Go Knicks. We gotta beat the Heat tonight. Jade, we like these afternoon games, so let's see what happens.
Yeah, it's remember, it's a back-to-back. So I think the biggest thing for me, if Quickley didn't play much last game, so I'm really excited to hopefully see Emmanuel Quickley get some more minutes tonight. And I kind of want to see the Knicks take the Heat battle personally. This is a good statement win. If we win, if we can go out there today, get a victory against the Heat, keep pushing up the standings. Yeah. Beautiful. All right, guys. Peace. Take care. Stay safe, guys. Bye. And stay safe in the snow. It's kind of crazy out there right now.
I need coffee. I'm going to make some coffee.
So do I. Peace, guys.